What up? What up? This your boy Arizona. Let me tell you something. Thank you to all the supporters that's been watching my channels. You know what I'm saying? I definitely I've been talking about that rest in peace to King Dolph, man. I've been talking about that a lot. But I just didn't put a lot of that stuff up. I'm gonna put it up later, you know what I'm saying? I get a couple more requests. I'm gonna put some more stuff up out, because I used to live in Tennessee, man, not Memphis though. Shout out to them. Just visited Memphis. I stayed in Nashville. Memphis is where it's at, you know. So I definitely, my heart goes out to them because, that was the hero of their city. But what I really got to thinking about that I wanted to talk with y'all about, Your World Arizona's the page, and we talk about, things that's going on now. I figured this would be a great time to give you some information now as far as the jobless rates amongst black men. Okay, this is a topic that's gonna be on CBS tonight, so I figured that I'll be doing more research into it and looking into it. But if you was to ask my general perspective on this, and by the way, shout out to Shine. I don't know, you can get them through Amazon. SHEIN, you know what I'm saying? They got that fly stuff. They get the mask with the, you know what I'm saying? You just in there like that. But they saying that it's the jobless rate amongst black men, and it's been getting worse since COVID. And so there's been a lot of people who say, well, when Trump was president, there was the lowest rate of unemployment amongst black men, and okay, we'll get to that. But this is what they said. They said 2018, 2019 was a great year for employment in the black community. I would definitely say for black women for sure. Black men, I'm not so sure about that. It depends on which area you're talking about though, because like I say, I always try to talk in perspective, and I've been to a lot of places. If you're talking about, let's say you in a small town, North Carolina, say you're there, it could be any town. It could be K-Town, it could be Morganton, it could be, any one of these little towns. K-Town is Kinston, by the way. You can even go by Craven County, even, right? And there's gonna be some areas, if you're a black man, they already just looking at you weird, even though you're from there. And we're not talking 1961, we're talking 2020. So you trying to live the good life and work a 9-to-5 there may be a little different for you. Because one thing you're definitely gonna have to deal with is that boss is gonna be a racist motherfucker. You ain't gonna get around it. It's impossible. In North Carolina, we talking 2022. We ain't talking 1958. We not talking 1863. Rest in peace, Lincoln. No, we talking right now. You're gonna, just to live that good life, you're gonna have to ride in his truck and listen to him talk about David Allen Coe and Charlie Daniels and all them songs they used to make about roping up niggas. That's what you're gonna have to deal with if you're trying to work a 9-to-5 and not break the law. Unfortunately for a lot of us, it's so easy because the police is the number one racist over there to break the law. Now, amongst them people that got felonies, they can't get no job. That ain't happening. Not in North Carolina. That ain't happening. And if you go to Tennessee, they'll hire anybody for certain jobs. Tennessee segregated. They don't tell you about that either. West Virginia segregated. When you live in those areas, if you black, you gotta work for the trash company. And if you Mexican, you gotta work in the restaurant. But if you white, you can work at Microsoft. Tell me how I'm tripping. Tell me I'm tripping. It ain't like that. Times have changed. No, they didn't. When? Where was the change? They put in a nonviolent hero to the black people for a president for 8 years. And now they just hate us for it. Was it worth it? Did we get the change that we so desire? Because now they just want to just find some kind of, now they say we don't work. But I would counter that argument, well, okay, if black people make up 13% of the population, but 50% of the prison, and they all got to do work release, I mean, that's filling a job somewhere. So I don't think that report makes any kind of sense the way that they worded it. You know, joblessness amongst black men is now in a crisis because of the pandemic. I mean, now this is just me, but I feel like, you know, born and raised in North Carolina, I feel like joblessness amongst black men has been an issue since slavery ended. Like, after they let us go, they really let us go. They're like, let me show you how hard it's going to be without us. So, you know, this jobless thing, I don't know if that was the right way to word it. I would say black life has been in a pandemic since we were sold to Great Britain. For real. That's what I would say, you know, because I'm out here able to live life and enjoy freedom and just overall just be blessed to be alive, you know. And it's a shame that, you know, because I'm employed. But I think that there's a level of insensitivity in the media when they word certain things and they say it, make it sound like black people ain't work, black men ain't work. I mean, yeah, it's actually both ways though. It's both ways though. There are a lot of qualified people who are not working right now. But, you know, a lot of programs was taken out of schools that would have, you know, enriched a person's life and actually pushed them forward to a trade. Those same programs was taken out of school. You got to go to college to get those programs now. And if you don't like school, that's it. That's it. If for any reason that school doesn't work for you and you're not able to get this alternative learning, you're already in a situation where you're not able to work. You're not able to produce as much. And I think that a lot of that could easily be addressed. It could be easily addressed, but the way the news is going about it is, I don't know, it was CBS, you know, it was CBS, they kind of funny with it. I feel like CBS is funny, you know, I feel like CBS is the first one to get us to argue about some shit. You know, and they just throw it out there like, hey, here's an idea. Just a thought. But what data are you using? If you're just comparing the past 5 years, sure, let's blame it on COVID, you know. But the only problem I got with that is, while everybody's arguing about are you vaccinated or you not, I don't even think that should matter. I think if you made this decision at this point, you made a decision. We still got AIDS, cancer, herpes. We still got shootings everywhere and all kinds of just wild diseases popping up out of nowhere. And everybody's arguing about COVID. Like, let's put it all on COVID. We got systemic racism. We got crazy ass vigilantes fighting police and vice versa in the streets. So it's kind of one-sided, but then when they make the report, like this is going to be on CBS tonight, they're going to broadcast this and they're going to have an article where they'd say, well, the jobless rate amongst black men is bad because COVID. You know, we ain't gonna talk about, you know, back in the 90s how they was showing on the news every 2 p.m., 6 p.m., and 12 midnight how they was just constantly putting up wanteds What black man or what black woman did this and did that, when there was like serial killers running around though, and serial rapists running around at the same time. But they only talked about these traffic stops and these drug busts, and it was only certain people that they put the helicopter and the news followed, you know. And some of these situations, you can't even get that kind of footage. I mean, they haven't released the tapes of who all was inside the store with the young Dolph situation. That's been like 2 months, you know. Um, and that's another thing. Like, take into consideration that a part of the problem with, you know, they say unemployment rates in black men is a lot of us is killing each other too. And some of it, we not understanding where it's coming from either. So when you put us all in that one situation, you got people like me who, you know, I go to protests and I go to City Hall and I just ask questions. And this is one thing I don't think any of us understand. Like, it's just as simple as you said somebody's name, or you had a disagreement with somebody at the cookout or something, or at the club. It could have been at school or anything, and they are really killing each other out here. Like, that might contribute to, you know. And then they also taking out business owners, entrepreneurs, people who are starting businesses and also able to employ those said unemployed people, because certain jobs, like being in a rapper entourage, or being in some of these basketball players entourage, certain jobs like that, you know, you have to be of a certain element. You got to be from that neighborhood, and you got to know this person, and it's it's a sincere thing. It's not a joke. So it's not like, and that might be the only life that they really equipped to handle, you know. But at the same time, at one point in time, you know, I before major brands got involved into the marketing of hip hop, at one point in time, this was an opportunity for more black men to be employed, but they don't give that credit out either. You know, it seems that they're going to forget what disco and hip hop and R&B and soul music did to black people. Like, we're talking thousands of families affected by, you know, this income that they now receive from superstardom at the highest level at that year, you know. I mean, I don't know, you know, a lot of things is going wrong, but the news asking the question, I think, is kind of, you know, that's counterproductive, because y'all the one that put the information out in the first place, and you put it out with a spin on it to make it kind of not even make any sense at all, so that, you know, the average person is going to see the news tonight, and that article you just spoke on, you know, it's a serious subject, and they're just going to gloss right over it, because it ain't going to even matter to the grand scheme of things, because everybody still is mad about COVID right now, but that ain't even what they really mad about, if you really want to know. But that's the topic right now. Let's argue about that, and we're just gonna keep it like that, you know, just arguing about the wrong shit, and then saying that it's a group of people's fault, and you just basically judging the whole group based off of like a pandemic. But it's really a epidemic. It's an epidemic of what's been going on to us for the past 400 years plus, you know. You know, and so that black man that you were speaking on, as far as the unemployment rate, that's also the lost tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying? The lost tribe of Israel. The 12 tribes, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about the tribe of Judah, Israelites that was in the desert for 400 years, and then they came back home. Well, they came home to no nation. They were a people without a nation. That was the curse. So, You know, that's a whole deeper thing. So that's the answer to it. It goes all the way back to spiritual times of why the unemployment rate is what it is right now. And the news, you would have to, I mean, CBS, y'all would have to ask yourself, how did you contribute to that? You know, instead of asking us, like, did you know that? And it's not even true. It's not even true. Because if you're looking at the real numbers, a lot of people, regardless of color, was losing jobs. I mean, they shut down bars for a year and now they open them back up. I mean, people was out of work left and right. But the one place I didn't hear that they said they was at a shortage of was the prison yard. They ain't got enough guards for them. So you have to really ask yourself what's going on. You know, I don't know why it ain't enough people at Walmart, but it's enough cops and enough prison guards though. They ain't short. None of them had to shut down because they were short on employees, and the pandemic didn't hurt them at all. Like, they let people out, but they were bringing people back in, tripling the numbers. So, you know, that's a whole nother story. So yeah, CBS, I just wanted to answer your question as to what you said. Why was the unemployment rate amongst black men the lowest since COVID? Actually, it's been extremely low since slavery ended. That's the answer. It's been low. It stayed low. It was never up. You saw Jay-Z and you thought everybody was like him, but that's the problem with it. If you look at media, you're going to look at media and say, okay, well, Jay-Z made it, Nas made it, but see, that's going to be your only image of a black man ever. Black people I see, everybody around me, you know what I'm saying, we got felonies. We don't have no there's no rich people around us talking like that. So when you say, when you get the idea of the black experience from CBS, that's who I'm talking to, you already messed up. Because I'm telling you right now, that the same people that's asking you why is black people out of jobs is the same people that was shining the light on us from the helicopter when the police was chasing us. The same ones. And they always said we did it. So like, you know, that's CBS for you. I just wanted to answer that question for you. Y'all have a day. Subscribe to Yo World Arizona. If you like this, share it with your friends. Let them know the real, because nobody knows the answer to it. But I just gave you the answer. So this is informational. Peace.